बाद में Good morning, friends. Myself, Navneet Takrar. We are here from Jai International School. Dear students and parents, we know it that in our society, in our India especially, many of the poets are there who have given us much of the things. With emotions, with love, with care, they have diverted us for some of the positivity. So, dedicating them the celebration, we are here with the theme for the poet. Students of 10th standard Jai International School are going to present, are going to dedicate the celebration, are going to dedicate to the poets who has given us many of the things. So we have first Mishri Viraria. Secondly, we have Renish Changani. Third, we have uh, Rushiraj Jadeja, and then we'll be having Bharat Singh. Before that, we'll be going for the prayer. Please join your hands and close your eyes.
Sharade, Ma Sharade.
With a peaceful mind, now I would like to start today's day with Mishri Viradia. She will be presenting you about the poet and she will be saying one of the poem. Please do like and share all this for respecting those poets who has given us much.
Good morning to excellence present here, my dear teachers and my dear friends. I am Shri Virya from class 10, going to conduct today's beautiful assembly with my talented team members. April is National Poetry Month, and even 21st March is also celebrated as National Poets Day, and it's worth celebrating it. Poetry is an ordinary language raised to the nth power. Poetry is born with ideas nerved and blooded with emotions, all held together by a delicate, tough skin of words. Poetry is not an expression of party line. It's that the time of night lying in the bed and thinking what you really think. Making the private word public, that's what the poet does. To be a poet is a condition, not a profession. So I, Mr. Mirya from class 10, am going to speak a little bit and much better about a very famous poet, Percy Bysshe. I know you might be knowing him, and if not, just go and just know him and just check out his profile. It's just amazing, amazing. And I'm really going to talk about his famous poetries. So without wasting a much of time, let's get to start. I'm just so eagerly to tell you all. Let's get into it. Some of you might be thinking that he is a man or a woman. So for your kind information, let me just insert a picture over here and say that he is a man. Percy Bysshe, born on 4th August 1792, was one of the major English poets widely regarded as one of the greatest lyric and physiological poets in the English language. A radical in his poetry as well as in his political and social views. Shelley did not see the fame during his lifetime, but recognition of his achievement in poetry grew steadily after his death. His close circle of friends included some of the most important progressive and radical thinkers of these days, including his father-in-law, the philosopher William Godwin. Though Shelley's poetry and prose output remained steady throughout his life, most of the publishers and journals declined to publish his work for being arrested either for sedition. Shelley's poetry sometimes had only an underground readership during these days, but his poetic achievements have become widely recognized. Shelley became in Rochester in subsequent widely recognized in subsequent 3 or 4 generations of poets, including important Victorian poets such as Robert Brown, Dan Bell, Restrain. Admirals have included Oscar Wilde, Thomas Hardy, Leo Tolstoy, and many more, apparently shows the influence of Shelley's writing and theories on nonviolence in protest and political actions. Shelley's popularly influence has continued to grow in contemporary poetry, so without wasting more time, I'm just going to recite one of Shelley's most admirable and famous poem named as Ozymandias. So here the poem goes. I meet a traveler from an antique land who say, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it's a sculpture. Well, those fashioned real, which yet survive, stemmed on these lifelines things. The hand had moved them, and the heart the fate. And on the bells appear, my name is Ozymandias, king of kings. Look on my works, ye mighty and dispar. Nothing beside remains, round the decay of the colossal rick, boundless and bare, the lone and the level stretches far away. The title of Ozymandias refers to an alternate name of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh Ramses. In the Ozymandias, Shelley describes a crumbling statue of Ozymandias as a way to portray the transcendence of political power and to praise art's power of preserving the past. Although the poem is of 14 lines, that's a sonnet, it breaks from the typical sonnet tradition in both its form and rhyme scheme. A tactic that reveals that Shelley's interest in challenging convention, both political and poetic. So with this, we come to today's end of our assembly. Thank you all for your presence and your participation. Enjoy your day. Thank you so much once.
Now I would like to request Renish Shangani to present his poem.
Namaskar and present dear. My name is Dinesh Tangani from class 10th Joint International School. Today I am going to share about Robert Frost, who was a successful American poet, was born in 26 March 1874 in San Francisco, California. His full name was Robert Lee Frost and his father's name was William Bathurst Frost, who was a great journalist. After the death of his father, he went to Lawrence with his mother and his father. He completed his graduation in the year 1892 in Lawrence High School. He was very serious about his poetic life and he published his first poem, that is, My Butterfly and Elodie, in the year 1894. Then he started giving lectures in schools and colleges and he was also working in farms. In the year 1897, he started studying in Howard University and he left that university within 2 years. From the year 1900 to 1909, he was living with his family at the place known as Derry. He continued writing the poems, but he did not get any good publisher who can publish his poem. So he did not get any success, so he went to London at the age of 40 and then he published his first book named The Boy's Will. And in London, he made many friends, and his best friend was Edward Thompson. He got inspired from him and wrote the poem named Lord Not Taken, which is very famous poem written by Robert Frost. One of the quotes from this poem was two lords diverged in a wood, and I took the less traveled by, and that has made all the difference in Frost's life. Then, due to the World War One in the year 1915, he needed to go back to America, and there he published a book named New Hampshire in the year 1924. And he awarded with a Pulitzer Prize for that book, and he also got three more Pulitzer Prize and many more prizes. He finally died on 29th January 1963 at the age of 83. So now you can see some of the famous poems written by Robert.
Dear students, we have heard this name, Harivansh Rai Bachchan. When this name comes, we know that he was a person. He is in heart of our all, and he has motivated us like anything. Let's have Rushiraj for presenting a poem written by Harivansh Rai Bachchan.
सुप्रभात। मेरा नाम ऋषिराज सिंह जाडेजा है। मैं कक्षा 10 में पढ़ता हूँ और आज मैं आपको एक महान लेखक हरिवंश राय बच्चन जी की एक लिखी हुई कविता के बारे में बताना चाहूंगा, जिसका नाम है अग्निपथ। अग्निपथ अग्निपथ अग्निपथ, वृक्ष हो भले खड़े, हो घने हो बड़े, एक पत्र छा की भी मांग मत मांग मत मांग मत। अग्निपथ अग्निपथ अग्निपथ, तू न थकेगा कभी, तू न थमेगा कभी, तू न मुड़ेगा कभी, कर शपथ कर शपथ कर शपथ। अग्निपथ अग्निपथ अग्निपथ, यह मान दृश्य है, चल रहा मनुष्य है, असुश्वेत से लथपथ लथपथ लथपथ। अग्निपथ अग्निपथ अग्निपथ। थैंक यू।
And last but not the least, we have Bharat Singh to present his view.
Gaurav Singh, I am from class 10th and today I am going to recite a poem written by Robert Frost. The poem name is The Road Not Taken and the poem goes like this. The two roads divers in the yellow wood and sorry I could not travel both. As the one traveler long I stood and looked down as far as I could to where it bent in undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, having perhaps the better climb, because it was grassy and wanted well, though as far as the passing there, had worn them really about the same, and both the morning equally late. In the leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how well it's to wait. I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a shy, some edges and edges hands. The two road devils in the yellow wood, and I taken the one less traveled by. That had made all the difference. Thank
Thank you very much for here with us, your being with us. I would like to I would like to request you to share this maximum for dedicating to our port.